everyone. Well, I actually wanted to first share a few thoughts on EOSC and the upcoming Bulgarian node, of course. Well, as you know, within the EOSC infrastructure, we have two types of nodes, right? We have the national nodes and we have the thematic nodes. So thematic nodes, they're dedicated to a specific science, branch of science, like for example, physics, chemistry, mathematics, IT, and so forth. First, I guess, before we start building our national node, I guess we have to ask ourselves the question, do we need a national node, right? Because it turns out that data spaces and information spaces in general, they're more efficient, just like financial markets. They're more efficient when they are consolidated, right? Nobody wants a fragmented financial market or fragmented data space because that leads to inefficiencies in general. Like for example, let's say the Bulgarian stock market. I mean, what's the use of the Bulgarian stock market? Does it make any sense, you know? I guess for the entire European Union, the stock market in Frankfurt, for example, should be sufficient, right? There might be some marginal sense in having a Bulgarian stock market, but you know, there's not really, you don't want this to be a place where Bulgarian companies go to die, basically, or Bulgarian research and data. So we really have to think about this for big countries, including Poland. You know, I think, you know, that does make sense. But we really have to look for integration here. Thematic nodes, on the other hand, I think they're going to be dominating the space, because if you were a researcher in a specific field, where would you rather publish your data or upload your data? On a thematic node that everybody in Europe can see, or would you go and publish it on the Bulgarian national node? So we really have to think about this. Now, of course, just uploading data and research is not the only function of those nodes. As we just saw over here, in the age of AI, repositories and publishers, they're reinventing themselves. They're no longer just glorified web hosts and content providers, but they're reinventing themselves as service providers. So now on these nodes, you're supposed to not just publish research and data or find research and data, but also use the services that the node provides, like you just showed. Each scientist can have their own workspace. You can use tools and services such as not only showing the data, but also analyzing the data, combining different data sources, processing the data, running all kinds of analytics on this data. So if there's going to be any value to any of the nodes, and the nodes that will eventually survive over time, I think are the nodes that are going to provide those services. So I think it is really important for the Bulgarian node, if it is to be really popular and survive over time to provide services and not just index research and data. And I just wanted to show you a couple of slides here that I was at the Opera's conference in Warsaw a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about open science in general. And usually, like the classic scholarly ecosystem looks something like that, right? We have publishers, we have libraries or repositories, we have universities and research institutions, researchers, of course, at the core of the system, and I've added here technology providers. And when we talk about open science, we get together, you know, all of these players in the scholarly ecosystem, and we talk the benefits of open science. But I think we kind of very often forget that there is secondary stakeholders in this ecosystem, in the scholarly ecosystem as well, right? So the secondary stakeholders, or as I've called it here, the scholarly ecosystem plus, includes the government, includes businesses, includes nonprofits, includes funding and policymakers, includes media organizations as well, because they're all beneficiaries of what we do, right? Businesses are, the government definitely, nonprofits, they provide the bridge between citizens and science, funding and policymakers, of course, and media organization. They disseminate this information and provide societal impact. So in my opinion, if we're going to win this battle for open science, open access and open science in general, then we definitely need to work with all of these secondary stakeholders, because we need to give scientists and researchers incentives to participate in this process of open access publishing, which, for example, is not the case right now, let's say in Bulgaria, right? You get researchers in Bulgaria, they pretty much get no incentives for publishing open access. So actually, I think that's all that I wanted to say, and